Yeah, I'm not a big fan of chicken breast on pizza. I've been looking for a poultry product.
I'm out of crackers now.
Get some quartered red onions, Frank's Red Hot sauce. So we are going after a real chicken. Let's put it in the tank. Sugar. I'm going to cover this in water.
You're not hearing my chewing, are you?
Yeah.
With a bomb. The turkey has such rich flavor. Yeah, we want a little texture. We want some sweetness to the meat. We'll do this 2 piece. Two soup? Yeah, just 220, 221, whatever it takes. Whoa. This is really where we separate the end from the boys. So far, on the edge.
Hello, everybody. We're coming back to you. We're here.
Hey.
We've got, it's going to be an interesting show because Karate's got some awesome... It helps by turning the mic on.
Yeah. Wait, are we live?
Yes, we are. Yeah, we're live. We're live now.
Like times in a row?
Shut up. Hey, listen, Abra. At least we have video. Okay?
Hey, you got video of me for all of 10 seconds before my camera decided it didn't want to be plugged in.
Anyway, hello,
Your
everybody.
video didn't even last that long.
God, you gotta love technology. This is Late Night with Cranky and Friends. I am the Cranky Canuck, otherwise known as the Cranky Canuck on Twitter. I'm joined by the beautiful Karida, otherwise known as the Shadows Dawn _. Remember the underscore, because you don't get the underscore, you won't get her. Not a good thing. And
Me.
yeah, the robot with a hoodie.
Hoodie robot.
Abra Cadabra, or otherwise known as Abra Psycho.
Who doesn't have his mic. Well, I have my mic, I don't have my webcam.
Yeah, see, for about 20 minutes now, everybody, we've been trying to get Abra's... Now, he's using the same webcam that Karida is. He uses the same webcam as somebody else we know does. It's the very nice Logitech C920, and they don't have problems. Abra, on the other hand, he has problems.
I have problems now.
Abra, you're constantly fighting problems.
Damn things don't know when to stay down.
Anyway, Karate, you've had a couple really full days, haven't you? Getting your little goodie box put together.
Yep. It is all finally set up and running.
So
What goodie box?
she got a new computer. She put a new computer together. Brand
And who did you send out? Who did you send out to that for?
She did it.
Excuse the fuck out of me? I'm sorry, I'm not a useless little homebody like apparently you are that has to have my dad build my computer.
Ooh, shots are being fired, folks.
I'll have you know, he built my computer when I was 15.
I built my first computer whenever I was 14.
We are all nerds.
Yeah, but you're a nerd in
And
training
actually-
by the sounds of it.
That was actually no, it's actually before 14. 12 or 13. And then that was also the first computer that was in the house.
That's nice.
So, Abra, if your dad built your computer when you were 15 and you're now in your 20s, that computer you're on is running about 6 years old?
No, we constantly upgrade it. Like whenever shit breaks, we upgrade it. So it's pretty much at modern standards still.
Okay. If you insist. Anyway, everybody.
I mean, like if you don't know computers yourself, like you're gonna send it to an expert. My dad does that shit for the government, so you know.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, that explains a lot.
Yes.
That's like his job is to fix and build computers for your banks and shit. Like.
So he couldn't put together a system that works for you?
Oh, he did. It works. It works. The problem is I had to go replace my battery, and now everything's shit fucked.
What, you changed the the CMOS battery?
No, the power supply. I don't know what a fucking CMOS battery.
You know.
Why would I know that?
You don't know what a CMOS battery is?
No.
And you call yourself...
I'm guessing it's a battery of some sort, and since you're talking computers, I'm guessing it's the giant-ass fucking power pack in your computer.
No, that's a PSU. That's the power supply. The CMOS...
Why would I know what a CMOS battery is?
Yeah, bruh.
What?
Do you know what a motherboard is?
Yes, I do know what a fucking motherboard is. It's the big thing that's vertical in my computer. It's plugged into.
Oh, God. Oh, I only wish your video was working, because that would just be a fucking riot. Anyway. Hi, everybody. Oh, God. Yes, it's a small battery for the BIOS on the motherboard.
The fuck's a BIOS?
Never mind, Abra.
No.
Just stop talking.
Yeah, just please. My head hurts. It hurts. It burns. I'm burning. Oh, God.
Thank you guys. He doesn't build them. His dad builds them for him.
Yeah.
There's a board, there's a video card, there's the power supply, there's the hard drive, there's my solid state drive, there's my DVD-ROM thing.
Big words for Abra.
Light Ray, you gotta understand.
Okay, I don't know why you guys think I'm a fucking moron all of a sudden, just cause I don't know what a fucking... I don't know how to build cars! Doesn't mean I know what a fuck... Doesn't mean I'm an idiot just cause I don't know where the fucking timing belt on my car was until it was pointed out on me.
Hey,
That's
Abra.
just your fucking engine, dude. That's fucking hard to see.
Do you know how long I've been waiting to get you on string door and just give you shit?
I don't know. I don't wanna fucking did you.
To answer
I do this to everyone.
To answer Light Ray's question, you have to understand we've known Abra, and when it comes to games, Abra is the shits. He is awesome when it comes to talking about games. He's an opinionated fuck, but he's good when it comes to talking about games. And we've known him a long time, and we're all friends here on this show, so it makes for a, I don't know, fun time. It would even be better if his webcam video was working, but we'll pretend it's Skype's fault, not his.
It is? Well, I don't fucking know. I'll blame Skype, because Skype fucks up so much anyway. Well, fuck you guys. You guys don't even see my face. I'm gonna play video games while we're streaming.
Oh, God.
You're
Anyway.
all, like, sick. Are we all getting over sick?
Who, me? No, no, not really. No. Anyway, just out of curiosity, do any of your neighbors really hate the fact that you're a geek and you game a lot, Abra?
My neighbors?
Yeah. Like, did they come pounding on your door to tell you to shut up?
Dude, no.
No?
They can't hear me, dude. When I'm playing video games, I'm quiet. I don't say shit. Cause I mean, when I was still living with my parents, they'd get pissed because I lived like my room was right below theirs.
Yeah.
And so we always yell at each other over the sounds we heard from others' rooms.
Well, it's a good thing you don't live in Japan.
Yeah.
It's also a good thing that you don't have a neighbor like a 16-year-old young man does, who decided one evening that he'd had enough of the game playing that was going on and all the noise associated with it, and he came over, burst through the door, and stabbed the kid in the head.
Sounds like you had a bit more problems than just that.
The story out of the Chunichi Web reports that the 16-year-old was up late playing video games at a friend's house. At about 2:10 a.m., 38-year-old, I'm not even going to pronounce his fucking name, allegedly barged into the house while the teens were gaming. Ishimoto allegedly found a knife on the scene and stabbed the 16-year-old, who suffered a minor injury to the head. Ishimoto has since been arrested, but denied using a knife. Now, according to reports, he was also slightly intoxicated.
The fuck he stabbed him with if he didn't use a knife? His fingernails?
No, he used a knife.
I know, I'm just saying, like, he's trying to deny he used a knife. That would be counted, that probably would be counted as a stabbing weapon. A stabbing weapon.
Not a knife.
It's a letter opener, right? Or nail file? Oh, screwdriver. Oh, okay. They make awful fine weapons. They're not, and as
Golf clubs, man.
as my wife used to do, she carried one around in her purse at all times, so it does good. Like, okay, so this kid gets stabbed in the head for playing video games.
He live?
Oh yeah, he's just had minor injuries. You know, nothing totally life threatening.
That's good.
So I'm like, oh, okay. What, like, is this what this world has come to, where you can't even play a decent video game in your home without fear of someone bursting through the door and it's going to stab you something, or shoot you, or, you know, do something bad to you?
Well, to go further in on that article, the walls of that particular apartment were extremely thin. Apparently, a lot of the walls for Japan are thin to begin with, and so the sound carries rapidly through it, especially how densely packed they put people in there, because how many people do they have there on a tiny island?
Yeah.
So you got to be considerate whenever you do have neighbors, unfortunately. Unlike the populares that live upstairs and I want to see their blood drain down the walls.
But then would leak into your room.
Unnecessary waste.
Like, the fucking floors, dude, that shit leaks. You'll just get drips and then you'll have to vacuum it.
I'm not going to vacuum
Never
it.
gets out of
That's
your fucking
interior
carpet,
decorating, Abra.
Yeah, it's called...
Yeah, until the cops come and ask you why you got these bloodstains on your fucking floor.
You just add them to the collection. That better shut the hell up.
A collection of bloodstains?
She's a practicing CSI agent. You don't think that would work? But see, here's the thing: if it's dripping down your walls, you just have it ready for Halloween and invite everybody in. You know,
that shit smells, dude.
What, blood smells?
Blood stinks when it's old and...
How would you know that, Abra? How would you know that blood stinks when it gets old?
I watch fucking...
You watch TV.
I used to watch TV.
That's like saying you got your information off of Wikipedia.
Wikipedia is a credible enough source. If you go to the fucking... They have their sources listed at the bottom. You just click that. If you want to double check. There was a study and all that shit that said it's about as accurate as Webster Dictionary. Or Encyclopedia or whatever. I can't fucking remember. I didn't write this shit down.
Well, you should have. It's called research.
That's your job.
No.
You gotta do everything.
My job is to wrangle you guys.
Doing everything.
I'm doing my job quite well. Stirring the pot and sitting back.
Yeah, you're doing that really well. Sim 4. Who's a Sim player here? Anybody? Sim 4?
Oh. Okay,
no?
Yeah, I played...
Well, that's good, because then you don't have to worry about the fact that there's a new DLC coming for Sim 4.
Well, I don't have that game.
It's, what the hell they called it? Sim 4, Get to Work. And it adds the options for you to become a doctor, a policeman, and the thing is, if you choose doctor...
So it's in 3 DLC that did pretty much the same thing, that added new jobs.
Yeah, well, this one is for Sims 4, Abra.
Ooh, interesting.
Yes. But you get to be a doctor and actually help bring a baby into the world in Sims 4. So, Abra...
the world in every Sims game.
Yeah, but here, Abra, this is the perfect time for you to get Sims 4, because you can practice being a gynecologist and then go out and earn a good paycheck.
No, I can't. I don't have money. I gotta buy gas.
Apparently, yeah.
Not even touch it.
I wouldn't touch it either. It will be released in April for Mac, Windows PC for $40.
$40 for a whole fucking DLC? What the fuck?
Yep, it's $40.
I've said how much I hate The Sims and how much they gouge on that.
That's like not a DLC. That's an expansion pack price.
To quote the article, as a doctor, your sim can treat diseases, perform surgery, and for the first time, even deliver babies. Sims can also play police detective, solving crimes, and interrogating other Sims, and based on the expansion's first trailer, send old ladies to county jail. The science career path lets players discover new inventions in The Sims 4 and use those creations for good or evil. Get to Work will also let players create a retail business, a bakery, clothing boutique, art gallery, bookstore, hire employees, and build out their store in build mode.
Neat.
You don't sound enthused.
I wasn't listening. I'm sorry. I was hung up on the fact that Kryda's calling me a woman in chat.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, these guys are asking like, am I a guy or a girl? And you told them I was a female.
No.
You're really rude.
I said me.
You're really rude.
Abra, learn to read.
I read that. I just chose to ignore your previous comment.
I'll open this up going to chat too. If anybody are the new Sims 4 fans, are you going to be lining up for this new DLC at $40 a crack? Yeah, yeah. No, it's a $39.99 is what it's going to be. And you're using a mechanical keyboard.
Yep.
Yeah.
Damn you. Damn. Because I want one.
Kryda, that's sexist.
What's sexist?
Maybe you should read chat, Cranky. Can't you read?
Yeah, but she's right. You do whine a lot.
You whine about my wines. You're wine squared.
I like that. You're wine squared. That's not bad. Chalk one up for Abra. First time in what? A couple years?
Your mom.
You're my mom.
I said your mom.
You can have my mom. I don't want her. Anyway, what was it? We were talking about something last night. Oh yeah, the League of Legends. Yeah. Okay. We're on this one, Credit. We're on this one. We talked about this as it was happening. I think yesterday, the day before yesterday. The fact that
it's yesterday.
Yeah. The League of Legends tournament in Thailand, in the Philippines. They had a really. It's an all-woman tournament, but you were only allowed to have one gay or one transgender on your team.
But you could have all the lesbians that you wanted.
Yes.
So wait, they said only. From what I'm getting from this is that they said you can make your team, you can make it out of whatever you want, so long as you only have one of these two specific life choices.
Yeah.
Yep.
You could have, like it would have to be obviously an all-woman team, right? But you could only have one lesbian.
No, you could have as many lesbians as you wanted. You could just only have one gay female.
Isn't that a lesbian?
What?
Are you one of those people who makes the distinction between gay being only for men and lesbian being for women?
No, Abra. No, I'm making fun of the article where they literally listed out they had to decide how they're going to handle lesbian, gay women, and transgender women. And then whenever they specified their restrictions, only gay women and transgender women were restricted to one. You could have all the lesbians you wanted.
Did they even mention lesbians after they...
Not in the restrictions. Only after, or the only time they mentioned it was we discussed these groups.
So maybe when they put gay women, they meant lesbians. They just didn't catch that they added.
They kept no. Even whenever they said or the groups that we're checking on, they said lesbian, gay, and transgender women. They mentioned 3 groups. They restricted 2 of them.
The one that they talked about, they mentioned 3 of them.
Yeah.
Like they were saying,
they only restricted
we talked
2 of
about
them.
this, and then they said, here are the restrictions, but in the restrictions themselves, they only talked about 2.
Yeah.
That means the restrictions are a completely separate document, and that therefore the gay women in the restrictions does count lesbians.
It was the same document.
Talking about the shit, didn't fucking read his shit notes. Shit.
The PR person fucked up. Big time.
You get fired!
Anyway, as
a riot crawls down their throat not long after.
After quite the uproar that circled around the interwebs and the gaming world, they came out today and they have retracted those restrictions. So you can have as many gays and as many transgenders as you want on your all-woman team. But
apparently we gay women have like magical superpowered gaming powers.
I know.
Where the hell are mine?
It's from the womb. It emanates from the... Anyway, and I asked this question the other night. They got to the transgender, which typically, I guess in this case, means a male going to a female. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Would that mean that a female going to a male would not be allowed to play?
They typically wouldn't want to because they don't identify as female. So why would they even want to?
They wouldn't be looking to join the team. Else they wouldn't be switching, now would they?
Oh, Jesus.
If they wanted to be called women, they wouldn't switch.
He's got a point.
Yes, he does. But don't tell anybody, all right? This is our secret. He actually made a point.
Looks like you made a mistake. We're on stream.
Uh-oh. Anyway, so what happened was what they said. Where are we here? Following an incredibly unpopular new ruling for the all-female League of Legends tournament, Garena Philippines has done a 180 and brought the exclusivity back into their tournament. Now, anyone who self-identifies as a female will be allowed to participate.
Some guys just go in there saying, "Yeah, I self-identify as a woman." Like no actual like.
Oh yeah, it's ass kicking.
It's Tumblr, man.
Thank you, legit, for the follow.
A lot of the tournaments that are doing the female-only thing and they are allowing transgender and those who identify as female, they'll typically go on the honor system. Oh, but of course, also some of them actually have you prove that you're working on transition or whatnot.
So you have to prove if you do or don't have a dick.
No, doesn't matter if you do. It's just, are you going through the hormone process or such?
Okay, call your doctor. You need a doctor's note.
Here's the problem.
No.
Here's the problem. I'm up. Are you done now, bro? Are you done? Okay, good.
I'm waiting on you now.
The problem I have with all this is that we are trying, not we, but the larger we, the people who basically, the gaming communities are trying to get more women involved in gaming, right? Because it's supposedly a male-dominated environment. So you got Intel tossing in, a few $100 million to help, encourage women to become game developers and gamers and so on and so forth. Then you have this totally separate thing where it's only women. I'm not even bringing in the whole fact of the gays and the lesbians and the transgenders. Just that's not what I'm like. It's one or the other, guys. Either you want women to be feel like they can be a part of this thing, or you go back 50 years and segregate them out and tell them, you go in that door, the guys go in that door. Like when I moved up in this area as a kid, there were still bars that had 2 separate entrances, one for the women, one for the men. I would like to think that we've come a lot further in 50 plus years. That this kind of segregation shouldn't happen. I don't understand it. Can either one of you please explain to me what the fuck?
I don't really get them all that much either. I will admit I am part of a female-only StarCraft 2 group, but I mainly went there so that I knew I wouldn't be getting a lot of the ragers that typically come in. I just wanted a very small group to be able to learn the game with.
Is that part of the problem? Is that women basically this is not something that women would naturally do anyway. They would want to be part of the larger gaming community, but because of the fucking bullshit that they have to go through, that like Ginger's talked about and you've talked about, like that they're almost forced into this position where they have to have separate women's teams.
I think it's more of they at the very least want to be able to have a place where they can have a area where it does feel safer, because I'm sorry guys, y'all can be some despicable people at times.
Dicks. Assholes. Yes. Dickwads.
Now, granted, we can be some downright bitches too, but
you have a different word for that.
Unfortunately, it is very hostile towards women in gaming. It really is. I hate that it is that way, but it is getting better, though.
Is it really? Is it really? Or is it just that because there's more publicity around it now that it seems worse?
I think with a lot of things more coming to light, it is starting to sound a little worse, but even still, over the years that I've been gaming, for me it's been a lot better. I mean, it's like there was a time where I would not even do this at all, period. Because I'd be sitting here and holy crap, chat's gonna light up. Oh shit, it's a girl. Flip their stuff and be saying raunchy, nasty things. And seeing here, it's fairly clean. Every now and then we do have something, but it's not that big.
Yeah, well, listen. When we first started broadcasting late night, there were like 2 or 3 nights in a row where it was really bad, and I basically had to institute the rules, and people had to be. I've got a ban list of about maybe 10 people that will never be allowed back in here because of their treatment of the lady co-hosts, of which we have what, 3, 4? There's Ginger, there's you, there's Haas. 3 lady co-hosts, and still want to get more. Hi, Pink Waffle. What's up? Oh, speaking of which, Pink Waffle. One second. I got to address something to Pink Waffle. We were having a discussion yesterday about Borderlands and how the fact that the DLC, the pre-sequel, as far as I'm concerned, is nothing but a ripoff. And he said that he made. Correct me if I'm wrong, Pink, but you made the statement that the money being used, raised by that, was being used to fund Borderlands 3. You gave me a video link to look at, and I'm sorry, dude, I saw nothing in there to back up that statement. So I just wanted to let you know I did watch it, I did take your point, but I still stand by what I said. Now, back to what we were talking about. I think. Remember? Yeah, no, it is a sad state of affairs where a small show like this, with aspirations of being bigger, has to literally teach some people in its chat proper behavior. But is that indicative of a broader problem within and I don't even really want to say the gaming industry, but basically a broader problem of an internet generation.
I could see that. Because,
I think
I had to say...
shit would still be underlying in society.
I'm sure you could agree, Cranky, that over the years, the maturity on the net has gone down a lot. And that's saying something.
Yeah, it has.
Well, like, from my personal, like, what I've seen, like, I don't pretend to be well-versed in social stratus along any line, let alone the internet, but what I have seen is that actually, like, as I've grown older, the interactions I've seen were becoming more mature. I think it's more, as time goes on, more people get the internet, and they start getting it younger and less mature. So I think that's kind of it's less of a more offensive majority and more of a more vocal minority.
Well,
that's showing up. Like they're not as prevalent. They're just louder.
As Afro-Cuban says, online is worse because they feel safe, so they can be bold. I would change bold. I would change bold for fucking idiot asshole. That's
just their natural state.
What? Their parents didn't teach them how to be proper, respectful.
Probably not. I mean, like a lot of these people have, even the people who probably have underlying problems within themselves mentally. Maybe big, maybe small, but they feel like that is an appropriate thing for them to do, and that is not correct. And they know in society that it's not correct, but in their head it's fine for them to do, and that's why they do it when they don't have people who can say, no, stop, go to your timeout corner.
Oh, don't even go down that fucking road, timeout corner. Fucking bullshit, child-rearing crap. Anyway,
I loved being sent to the corner. I'd count everything that was on the wall and the patterns that were in it. I might have been a strange kid.
In my elementary school, we had like this box that you had to sit in, and someone ended up like poking footholes in the box and standing up and just walking out of the classroom. Never left the box.
Do you think?
Get rid of the box.
Do you think it's possible we can get to a point where this is just basically the past, and we actually can have an equal ground for both men and women and boys and girls on the internet and gaming specifically? Or are we always going to have this type of problem of the 12-year-old on Xbox yelling, "I fucked your mom"?
I think we're going to have this problem until we have a third party that we can all team up on. Like Abra. The same, like, this is something that I find happens a lot in whenever I reflect on human conflict, is that if we all had something not human to fight, we wouldn't be fighting each other so much. We wouldn't, like, same thing. If men and women had something that they could both, what's the fucking word? It starts with a D. Discriminate against. Together. Then would come together.
Yeah, but that's yeah, but you're stating a possibility or a possible solution that will never happen, or at least not in our freaking lifetime.
Not in our lifetime. That will not happen. So no, I don't think that within our lifetime we will see the end of this problem.
Isn't that sad? Like,
that's
really?
Life.
I don't know.
Say it like it sucks, but a lot of other shit sucks. So, yeah, sorry for being a downer, but yeah.
You're just a downer, man. You're just a downer. Speaking of downers, either you two been following the conversation we've had around here on the Deadpool movie?
I don't Deadpool.
You what? You what?
I don't know Deadpool as well. Like, I know he exists, and I get his main points, but I do not read
you had
his
me
comics.
scared.
I do not watch.
I thought you were about to say you didn't know who Deadpool was.
No, I know who Deadpool is. I've come across Deadpool many times. I just don't know his stories or anything. I know he is a character, and I know the gist of his character. But I do not I've never read any of his stuff.
Well, it's not like he was writing an autobiography, for fuck's sakes. It's a comic.
You know what I mean? I haven't read his comics. Yes. I haven't watched his movies. Video games.
Well, there's been no movies of him. There's been no cartoons of him. It's just been strict because nobody wanted to touch him with a 10-foot pole because of the character that he was. But now Fox is going to be bringing the movie, and it's going to have a PG-13.
I am not happy with that
character. That's not going to be well received by purists.
Anyway,
staged or not, that little clip that got leaked, if they can make it like that, that would make it amazing.
Well, apparently that leak is what this basically is wrapped this story around. That leak apparently was of a clip that was made years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it suddenly found its way onto the internet just middle of last year.
Yep.
And that's when everything blew sky high and has prompted Fox to go ahead with it. Now, in a recent interview, Ryan Reynolds was asked if he was responsible for that clip being leaked. And he said no, he was not. He was as surprised by it as anybody because he'd been trying for years to get this movie made. Trying. And so had, the director, the producer of it. And it was basically Fox. It was just, hands off sort of thing. What he said was, I would have, if I had known it would have caused that. Honestly, we all thought Tim Miller, the director, had leaked it. But I've since investigated that enough in quiet moments when he was beyond the point of being penalized by anybody, and he said that he really didn't do it. The initial leak came from Fox, they think. Someone recorded the footage on their iPhone and then released it. And then once that happened, somebody hacked into Blurred Studios and got the original footage in high res and put that online.
Yeah, I loved that clip. And ever since... what was the really shitty X-Men movie that they first had
all of them
in?
All of them.
No, I forget what the one was.
No, you're thinking of Gambit.
No.
I remember seeing once a clip where they said it was Deadpool, but it was like a dude in a tank top and he had no mask or anything, just two swords and there was a table and an office.
That was supposed to be our Deadpool initially. Whenever the role Ryan Reynolds played initially.
I could have sworn that was Gambit that was in the X-Men movie.
Gambit was in it, but Taylor Kitsch played that. But Ryan Reynolds started out in the beginning, and then he came back as Weapon X.
Anyway, he goes on to say in this interview, I was excited because you can look back at an email chain from all of us, the core group involved in Deadpool, saying, we should leak this fucker. That like 3 years ago, saying, hey, if this thing is going to stagnate, one of us should just say, whoops, I slipped it online by accident. And nobody seemed to want to nut up to it and do that, myself included. Someone did it for us years later when we all completely assumed that it was dead in the water. I would love to know exactly who did that because they deserve so many fucking kudos that. But I come back to the fact that this is Fox doing it. This is a Fox movie. This is a Fox movie that wants a PG-13.
Yeah, and I will still go see it. I'll actually take that back. I will go see it if Ryan Reynolds is still voicing Deadpool, because all they have to do is turn him loose and let him run bullshit out of his mouth.
Yeah,
and
but
you'll have exactly what you want.
Yeah, but as long as we don't get another fucking Green Lantern.
Like I said, the key is turn Ryan Reynolds loose. Watch him in Waiting. Watch him in Blade Trinity, I believe it is, where he's Hannibal King. Half the stuff he says is not in the script. It's just him launching words out of his mouth.
I know. When I saw him in Green Hornet, I was like, either he's one fucking useless actor, or somebody fucked up on the writing and directing. Now, he was asked about that also in this interview, and I think it was when we shot Green Lantern, nobody auditioning for the role of Green Lantern was given the opportunity to read the script, because the script didn't even exist. Like when they were shooting that movie, it was basically each day they were given parts of the script to do. Right?
Well, that explains a lot.
So they didn't even give the people that were supposed to be reading the script the actual script?
No, in the auditions.
They spoon-fed it to them.
Yeah. Now that's a known tactic, and I know from my father, who was involved in that industry for all of his life, that can sometimes happen, especially if they want to keep a really close lid on what the movie's about, what's the plot lines and all that, which in this day and age is really, really fucking hard to do, because as it stands right now, the script for Deadpool apparently got leaked as well. It's out there, it can be found. So
I'm gonna have to go hunt this down.
Yeah, apparently, yeah. Both the video and the script got leaked. So do some Google foo stuff with your jacket and go find that script.
What? Talking about this? Where is it?
Yeah, it's right there. It's there. I know, you nasty, nasty woman. You tease. I want a coat like that.
You can't get one.
I know. It's probably employees only.
Not only that particular jacket was only for my location.
Oh, really?
Yep. We had a yearly, during the winter we'd get new jackets generally, and they'd be custom ordered and designed for our location.
Yeah, because you were in hardware, weren't you? The data centers.
Yep.
What? Okay, I got to ask. What are those data centers like? Are they that big, fucking huge things? Like how big do they get? Like, do you need a Segway to go down the aisleways?
We had Razor scooters. Give me a moment, and I'll give you all a link to one of the data centers.
Sure.
You can see an aerial view of it. I can actually do this now because they released where it was. But go ahead and continue. I'll look it up.
The next story actually is one I put in here because I know you're a table topper.
Oh dear. What'd you put in?
Dungeon Master uses ceiling-mounted projector to project game maps on table.
Yes, I saw that.
That sounds cool.
It does. It's like I'll put the link in chat so people can see it for themselves, because it is a really cool idea if you play tabletop games like Dungeons and Dragons or any other ones.
I'm interested in those types of games.
Well,
never played one though.
Karida's the one to talk to there because she loves her tabletop games, don't you, dear?
Indeed.
All right. What? Okay. Tabletop games. We'll use this to take us into our break. What's your favorite tabletop game, Karida?
My favorite is Exalted by was White Wolf. Now Onyx Path is publishing it under license.
I understand that game's pretty over the top.
Oh yeah, it is. Take your anime, take your wuxia films, bunch them up together, and epic fights. You can just do the most insane things.
I know when I owned a comic store, one of my customers was really big into crafting and making the characters for these tabletop games, and his work was absolutely gorgeous. Red Mage X says, I work for EMC, who's probably supplied Google with some of their hardware, and I can only imagine how much stuff they use.
I can say that they may have only, in more recent time, supplied stuff, or in the long time in the past. When I was there, everything that was there was custom made by Google.
Just out of curiosity, are you still tied to NDAs with Google?
To some extent, yeah.
Really? Well, how long have you been gone from Google?
5 years.
And you're still tied to NDAs with them?
As far as I know.
Wow.
So, the building that, or the link I just posted, that should bring up the map, basically a very small narrow strip down the middle of that building, short ways.
Yeah.
Is office space. To either side of that is gigantic data center space.
Wow.
Yep, you can see all of the generators and the water coolers around the edge.
That's neat.
That's just insane.
Their own little power substation.
Back to tabletop games. What is it about tabletop games that attracts you, Craig? What is it about that style of gaming that is so appealing?
Honestly, the storytelling. The creativity of a group of people getting together to tell a story. That is the reason why I'm not so much of a D&D player, because a lot of that breaks down into dungeon crawling, kill the monster, get the loot. I like the World of Darkness games based on the storyteller system, where the focus is stories, plain and simple. You can actually get away with not having to really roll dice if you don't want to, or you can go whole hog and roll bunches of dice.
Okay, what fascinates you about the Mavra? Like, what draws your attention to something like tabletop gaming? Like, what?
Well, I first realized it was a thing when I read Order of the Stick. So that's what I started looking at, and then I started finding like a bunch of stories that people talked about, like the interesting things that happen just out of like the random dice rolls and stuff. Like you go on to like TG or something, you find green text stories and whatever of like shit that happened in Dungeons and Dragons and other games that are just like crazy.
But yeah, just to show y'all a bit, that bookshelf over there is full of gaming books.
Holy fuck!
No. Those boxes right there, full of gaming books.
Those boxes lie. They say craft room.
Because that's the room that they were going in.
Damn, girl, you like yourself some tabletop gaming.
Oh yeah. Most of that was acquired for free. Legally.
I would hope so. I wouldn't want to be visiting you in jail for theft of tabletop gaming books. I'm just like curious.
Snatch and grabs.
Yeah, snatch and grabs. Yeah.
Wait outside the game shop.
Just open to the chat as well. Like, is tabletop gaming something that's even on your guys' radar? Do you like tabletop gaming? Do you have a favorite? I know we got a 30-second or so delay, but we'll try and get through the, if we do.
fun note, if people do like a tabletop gaming and they're interested, I could potentially get someone on to join us sometime, maybe, who is a developer for the Song of Ice and Fire tabletop role-playing games.
That's from the Game of Thrones, right?
That is Game of Thrones, yes.
Wow, that would be interesting to have as a nice little extra.
He's also, if you ever touched the World of Warcraft tabletop book and you saw the Pandaren, he was the one that wrote out their initial setting and lore. And some of that was actually carried over into the World of Warcraft expansion.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like their culture of drunken kung fu pandas.
Drunken kung fu pandas.
Yep.
That's a pretty scary thought.
Blizzard did not have a culture or even real concept set up for them, and whenever his company got the rights to be able to do the game, they gave that bit to him, and Blizzard loved it.
Oren says in chat, I have an original Gary Gygax D&D box set. Took him on many a wonderful journey. So yeah, it looks
well done. Carry that to the grave with you.
Corrida. Is it Gygax or Gygax?
I don't really care how you pronounce
Gygax. Gary Gygax.
Look, no pulling any Dark Devil semantics on that.
I'm not pulling semantics. I'm asking for her opinion. Like, I want to know how she
I
pronounces
usually said Gygax.
Gygax?
Mm-hmm.
It sounds cooler than Gygax.
Gygax.
In my opinion. Gary Gygax. 3 syllables.
Oh, take your syllables and go home. Oh yeah, you are home. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to take a 5-minute break, folks. So we can refresh our drinks, do the chat, the good old facilities. We will be back, talk amongst yourself, and we will see you in 5.
We'll see you at 12 bong. Hello. You still here, Corrado? Can you hear me? Did you guys mute yourselves? Should I have muted myself? Oops.
Hey, we're back. We're back. Abra, you still with us, or you?
I'm here.
You know, I thought maybe you fell asleep. Thought you maybe you fell asleep. No, you're all here. We're all here.
Turns out we were supposed to mute our mics during the break.
Well, yeah, it usually is a good idea, but you know.
Could they hear me, or?
Yep.
So they could hear me during the break.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Ah. Now I know why we're supposed to mute our mic. No one told me that thing. I wasn't given like a list of rules to follow or anything.
You see, that's the thing.
We kind of assumed you had a brain, Abra.
Why would I assume we had to mute our mic? I thought I thought Cranky would have muted Skype for himself, like just completely mute Skype, so that it wouldn't matter if we muted it. We could talk amongst ourselves.
Not how it works, Abra.
Well, maybe it should be.
As Oren says, nice fap there, dude. Anyway, oh goodness me, I'm not a League of Legends player, and I'm not. I have no idea what the value of the skins are, or what they sell for. But apparently, there's a new skin coming out for League of Legends for DJ Sona. She doesn't look radically different from her old selves or selves. She also, no, she doesn't just look radically different. She also sounds different. Using her mighty Technicolor turntables, she can alter League of Legends' entire soundtrack. Oh, and she has multiple forms.
Yep.
Not even her final form.
The neat thing with this particular one is, it is going to cost out the butt. It is a $25 skin. It's one of their Ultimate Edition skins, and the fact that usually with those you get new animations, new sound effects, totally reworked models, and things like that. So in essence, you almost get a totally brand new character.
Brand
The neat thing with DJ Sona is she plays her own soundtrack. And as you use her abilities, it warps the sound or changes it just slightly in time with the beat. And you can change which one you're using. So then her skin changes with that. And then other players can tune in and listen to your little soundtrack that you're making. Unfortunately, you can only change it in a set order. So it goes from one to the next to the next.
Yeah, it goes, what is it? They listed out here. Let me just, goes kinetic, concussive, ethereal, kinetic. No remixes allowed.
Yeah. Now, I will have to say, I actually get to listen to them. The kinetic one, I probably would never take it off.
Really?
Yep. Crap. Who was it that did it? I cannot remember who did it now. Those that helped on it.
The tracks you do get, however, were custom made in collaboration with Pretty Lights, Bass Nectar, Crystal Method, Dada Life, Renhold, and I can't even pronounce that one. So they definitely called the best of the EDM and techno music scene to do this stuff, which I find rather impressive.
Yeah, the Crystal Method is the one that did that helped on the one that I really enjoyed.
Crystal Method is one of my favorites. I love Crystal Method. Now, unfortunately, this skin is going to set you back $25. Is that reasonable for what they're calling a legendary skin? Is that the ultimates? Is that kind of a reasonable price, or?
It's still higher than some of the other legendaries, but this is the farthest they've ever taken this particular bit. So, to me, if I were still actively playing League, I would pick her up. I'd pick up that skin in a heartbeat.
Okay, here.
Yeah, that's what I would say too. Like, if you were, this is really only valuable if you actively play League, as in keep coming back to it as your most played game. Because like, otherwise, just spend that $20 on a new video game.
Yeah.
Okay, now the question I have, and again, like I said, I don't know anything about League. I don't know anything about the skins. Are skins like this like limited edition type things? Like they'll only make it for a certain period of time?
Some of them. They have different categories now. Most of them, you may only be able to buy for unlimited time, and then they'll bring them back during the next holiday season or whatever. And then some of them, you can only get them through conventions, or you can only, excuse me, they may have some that you can only get for a limited time, or by being a certain rank at the end of the season. So they do have some limited ones, but most of those really, really limited ones are free skins. You just have to meet the criteria.
Is there sort of like an aftermarket type business here for people with League skins?
There used to be.
Oh, okay.
But there started becoming so much fraud with it that Riot clamped down on it, and usually it was with the convention skins. And Riot now has set it to where the codes that they hand out at a convention, they expire a few days after the convention. So basically, you have to go back
immediately
and use your code.
Yeah. Okay.
They give you probably about a week, I think it was, to be able to get home and do it. But like I was saying, the reason why I would pick up the Sona skin is she's a support character, which is the role that I usually play if I play League. And she's a fairly good support, last I remember. But I'm sorry, that skin is just pretty friggin' badass.
The picture of it looks. I'll throw this in chat for you guys, just so you know what we're talking about. There you go. I would imagine that if I was a League player and I was like a support character, then yeah, I would probably end up picking this one up too, because it is a gorgeous looking skin. The concept is really good. As Oron says in chat, it's a revolutionary idea, but he's not going to pay that kind of money for it. You know, and I gotta admit, $25 for a skin, it does seem just a little bit expensive. Like what's the average price for buying a skin for League? Like let's go with just general run of the mill skins.
I would have to log in and redo the math, but I want to say general was about $5.
And so for the legendary or ultimates, it would depend on what kind of price ranges would you look at?
Generally 20, now apparently to $25 range. But usually the $5 skin, it literally is a reskin.
Yeah.
There's generally no model changes. It's just the artwork on the skin and a new splash screen. That's it.
Regmage says skins are about $5 to $15 normally, and Orange confirms that. So yeah. Now I want to get back to board games for a minute, okay? Because I think we should send Abra to France. And
why you want to send me to France?
So you can get the Monopoly game that has all the in-game money as euros.
Why would I care about that?
Because you could bring it back and give it to me, you dickwad.
Why don't you just go to France? You're already in Canada. It's like halfway there.
Yeah. Anyway,
go see the frog people. That's your job.
Whoa! Yeah, but apparently in France, they're celebrating the 80th anniversary of Monopoly. And in France, 80 boxes of Monopoly will ship with real money in addition to the fake money needed to play the game.
Wait, you saying these boxes will have actual money inside of them?
Yes!
Oh, then I'll take those. Shit, man. Free money? I thought you were just saying they made it all look like euros. I'm like, why would I want that?
No. Now, mind you, 79 of the special game boxes will only have like modest amount, like very, a little bit of real money in it. There's one box though of the 80. I don't know how much. Chat, help me out here. How much game money is there in a Monopoly set? I can't remember anymore. I know it's a lot of money. But one Monopoly game out of that 80 is going to contain all of the in-game money value in euros.
Can I get a hold of that?
No
Whoever
shit.
finds it, send it to me.
I
may or may not be thankful.
I may or may not just stab you for it.
I do have a closet full of bladed weaponry. Just saying.
Yeah, we've seen that.
Now, one thing, where we were talking about the League of Legends skins.
Yes. DeGaulle
says he wishes he could get away with just paying $20 because he basically apparently just paid $60 for a Boeing 737 in X-Plane.
Yeah, he has become quite the X-Plane dude. Like he has fallen in love with that game so large. I swear, if he isn't careful, he's going to own every single plug-in for that game, and he's going to be bankrupt.
I bet you he's gonna get the last one, and then he's gonna realize I don't actually like this game, and he'll go back to playing real games.
Are you insulting both the Gaul and X-Plane?
Yes.
Oh, okay, all right, that's fine. Then you know what we should do? We should get you and him to team up for the Survivor Games Z5 through Twitch.
The what?
The Survivor Games with the Z at the end.
Is that the DayZ?
Yes, it is.
I watched one of those.
Yeah, the original deathmatch event. It will be returning this Sunday, between 1 p.m. EST, 4 p.m. EST, and 9 p.m. GMT. It brings together the gaming personalities, pro gamers, and Twitch celebrities from around the interwebs to duke it out in the post-apocalyptic world of DayZ. Some of the participating teams are... I can't even pronounce half this fucking shit.
Give me a link, I'll try my best.
Just go with some of the ones that stand out. Lyric and Shorty Guy will be on a team.
There's
Summit 1G and Mr. Shades.
Yeah, there's Sacriel and Break 71. Gold Glove and Fairlight Excalibur. Psy Syndicate and Cat Nifty or whatever. Elohim and Clam Taco. White Boy Thirst, whatever the hell that is. Giant Waffle and Dance. Like they're getting quite the is this something you'd end up watching?
Not really. Mainly because, like I've said before and told people that have tried to get me to play H1Z1, that particular game is not my cup of tea. I don't really do the survival zombie game stuff all that much, really. Never appealed to me.
What about you, Abra? I know you like the Arma 3 type games. Thank you, Pura.
I was actually quite interested in Survivor games when I first found out about it. I also was pretty realistically disillusioned that I was ever going to get on it.
Why is that?
Oh, like that would require me to schedule off a good chunk of my time for specifically that, and then I would have to make sure I have a stable internet and yeah. And then I'd have to spend the next 3 days installing Arma 2, and then installing the DLCs, and then installing DayZ.
Well, it's probably for the standalone version.
I don't think the standalone version has enough weapons in it at the moment for that to be feasibly possible. I think they'd probably just keep it in the one that's more fleshed out.
I was seriously thinking of doing a center stage show around this since I saw it. Basically being, myself and maybe one or two other people sitting around making fun of them all. I still might do it. So pay attention, folks, this Sunday. Might have some fun afternoon stuff to watch. Let me see, what else? Oh, my throat, man, it's going on me. I know what Dizzy's feeling like. Borderlands, the Borderlands series. How many...
yeah. Can I say something about the Borderlands series that I'm a bit miffed about? I saw recently that Telltale Games released its second episode of the Game of Thrones game, but they haven't done it for the Tales of the Borderlands yet.
So, who cares?
I'm still waiting on episode 2 of Tales for the Borderlands. That game is amazing. And it's a Borderlands game, so it's on topic.
Anyway,
you can't say it's not.
How many copies of the Borderlands series do you think that they have shipped?
A lot.
23 million.
So a lot.
A lot. During their Q3 earnings call, Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick let the world know just how well the Borderlands series has done up to this point. The fine folks at Seeking entitled it. Also on March 24th, 2K will release Borderlands, a handsome collection, bringing the critically acclaimed series, which has sold nearly 23 million units worldwide, to the next-gen consoles. The Handsome Collection will include Borderlands 2, Borderlands, the pre-sequel, along with all the downloadable content for both titles. Wait a minute. What the fuck? The Handsome... I'm going to read this again, because maybe I'm missing something here. The Handsome Collection will include Borderlands 2 and Borderlands, the pre-sequel, along with the downloadable content. What happened to Borderlands 1?
It doesn't have Handsome Jack in it, Cranky.
Who gives a
it's
flying
fuck? It's not part
fuck?
of the Handsome pack. It can't be handsome.
I think that's
Don't
just...
you make that face, Karida?
That's just not nice. That's not fair. It should be included in that pack. I don't care. Anyway.
Just buy it for like, what, $2?
But yeah, 23 million units. That... And, okay, here's the thing. The average cost of what? Of the Borderlands was what? $50? Average, yeah, about $50. Multiplied by 23 million.
That's a lot of dots.
That's a lot of fucking zeros at the end of a large number.
A lot of scratch.
Indeed.
A lot of dinero.
Wow.
A lot of moolah.
I know a lot of my friends really like the Borderlands series. Myself, never really got to play one. Mainly because I had a pretty crappy system. Maybe I might try one out sometime.
You know, I'm actually I'm hard pressed to think of which I like better, the Mass Effect series or the Borderlands series.
Borderlands series, because Mass Effect 1 was bad.
It wasn't that bad, Dabra.
I couldn't play it.
Well, just because you couldn't play it, it's bad.
It was just horrid. You know, the controls were bad, and the plot points were kind of meh.
Just because Abra couldn't play it, it sucked, right?
I haven't played Mass Effect 2. I've played Mass Effect 3, though.
I love Mass Effects. I think it's a great series. I'm kind of curious as to where they're going to go with the next set of trilogies off of that, because I know they're working on Mass Effect 4. There's been a big write-up over the last couple days about how they are using the same framework as was used in Inquisition, Dragon Age Inquisition, which has some people worried that it's going to, you know, I can't see how I can follow plot lines, but anyway, so work is going ahead on the Mass Effect 4, but with Shepard being basically finished off in the last of Mass Effects 3, I'm kind of curious as to where they're going to go. What do you think, Abra? Well, like, do you have any idea or any thoughts on what they could be thinking?
I'm sorry, I was in chat. What was that bit? Really quick.
Mass Effect 4.
Mass Effect 4, I'm kind of looking for a less Shepard, less Reapers, a completely new storyline in the same universe. Maybe something like near the dawning of humanity to join, where you're just not playing an actual agent of humanity or an agent of the council. I'm kind of like a little bit more free agent. You're kind of just like dragged into it against your will, into a grand adventure against your will. You didn't like sign up. You didn't know. You're not a military guy. You're like, maybe you're not. What are you making that face for?
Chat.
What about chat?
Have to applaud. I'm awesome.
Why? What's run this? What did I miss? What did I miss? I missed something.
So, a rather cheesy pickup line was used in chat.
Oh, okay.
And then,
I see.
I'm awesome. Well played.
Okay, that was yes. But back to Mass Effect. Like, what I'm hoping for, like a Mass Effect 4 type game, is not actually anything to do with the Mass Effect series, except for being in the same universe with the same like backstories for the big cultures and events and shit. Like, I don't want to see more. Let's all stop the Reapers, fight this big all alien invasion. I just want to see like a conspiracy type story in that universe or something.
Okay, then what about Borderlands 3? Like,
Borderlands 3, honestly, I'm looking for not Pandora.
Yeah, same here.
Can we like put up a spoiler finger? Because I'm gonna spoil the end of Borderlands 2.
Go right ahead.
Like, I mean, just like let everyone in chat. Like, if you don't know the end, kind of mute it for now. So yeah, the end of Borderlands 2, 1, 2, 3. If you're not muted, it's done. The end of Borderlands 2, you find out that there's a shit ton of vaults all over the fucking universe, and they're just everywhere, and you got a big old fucking map for it now. I want to go to one of those vaults, or maybe like a one where you can go to multiple vaults, and like they release the game with one vault, and then they start working on a whole new vault that you have to find that they release as DLC and shit like that.
That is interesting. Because that was
go on.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Like, I want to see like a resurgence of some of the older classes. I want to see. One thing that I didn't like about the pre-sequel is that they replaced the psychos with the lunatics, and those Australians, the space Australians, are just they're not as endearing as the midgets who want your guts. But yeah.
The idea of interconnected vaults could really, it could add like an immense amount of lifetime to that game, if done right. If done wrong, could totally ruin it.
Yeah, if done poorly, but like I'm like they release it with how they've been doing it so far. There's one vault. You know, like there's one big vault that's the main thing of your original story. Then instead of like releasing their little DLC packs, they release a whole new story for a whole different vault, and they just keep adding to the same game.
Yeah.
And like, I want to see more characters that have actual like fleshed out stories. Like in Borderlands, the pre-sequel, there's that one character, the first one you meet besides Jack. And the alien weird things, you know, the Springs, her face, whatever.
What, Mad Moxie?
No, the first Australian you meet. I remember her name.
Don't know.
Jenny Springs or something.
Okay.
But yeah, she was like she was like not fleshed out at all. Like she had this whole backstory that you could have figured out, and they just like it was a cop out. It was bleh, bad. But yeah. And then they had like the characters like the doppelganger. He had a pretty interesting story, and some pretty interesting lines too.
Storyline? What do you think of the Binding of Isaac, the other well-known indie game out there that I can't stand either?
I don't like Binding of Isaac as a game.
It always reminds me of a really bad acid flashback.
It reminds me of a Flash game that should have stayed a Flash game.
But you're not going to gain
like,
any.
I mean, yeah, it's got a lot more content, but like the art style and the gameplay is not my thing. It always feels like it's a little bit too floaty, or it doesn't look like it. Like the walking animation for me does not look right in that game, and it just like little things will throw me off and I hate it.
Well, apparently, one of the co-developers of the first one is working on a new DLC for the original Binding of Isaac, not the new 2.0 one, but the original Binding of Isaac, and it's called Wrath of the Lamb. And he's doing
that was already done.
No, it's through Binding of Isaac's remake or expansion Rebirth has been out for a few months, and even has an expansion for it in the works. Already, dear old original Isaac hasn't been forgotten. Co-creator and programmer Florian Himsel has announced that he's working on a new DLC for the Binding of Isaac Wrath of Lamb by himself. It will bring a new hard mode to the roguelike Weep 'em up
Dude.
within what?
Wrath of the Lamb was released May 28th, 2012.
Then he's doing a DLC to go on top of that.
So it's just okay. I thought you were saying that the DLC he's working on is Wrath of the Lamb.
No, the DLC he's working on sits on top of that.
So it's just another DLC for Binding of Isaac.
Yeah, we just don't know the name of it. I'm sorry, but I don't like Binding of Isaac.
I don't either.
Karida?
Haven't played it.
Well,
I know a lot of my friends do, but
you've seen it.
I see the art style of it. It doesn't appeal to me. I mean, the game itself and such, I would probably enjoy. But the themes and everything that they're presenting in it, I'm just meh.
I don't like the art style. I don't like the gameplay. I don't like Binding of Isaac. I think, personally...
Each bit separately would probably be good. All the bits together do not flow with each other and do not like.
No, Dark Waters, this is basically myself and selected co-hosts to do the show. But I'll tell you something, and I'll make this clear to chat, okay? You guys have questions, please ask them in chat. Because a large part of this show, we want to be able to answer those questions. We want to be able to expand the conversation around your questions. You are as much a part of this show as myself or my co-hosts on any night. So please, feel free, and we will try our best to make note of the questions, and we'll answer them the best we possibly can. But back to Binding of Isaac. Like I said, and I'm not joking, I've had better looking acid flashbacks than this game. Okay? And some of them are pretty... Never mind. Anyway. What is it about games like this that are so appealing to some people? And I'm asking Chad as well. What is it about Binding of Isaac that is so fucking appealing? It's a gory fucking mess.
I don't know why people liked it. Like I'm pretty sure it came out in like the era where it was like all indies. Ooh, indie games. Ooh, indie games.
It shares the same time frame as Don't Starve.
Yeah, well. I don't know if it came. Did it come out at the same time Don't Starve came out? I know that I've heard of Don't Starve way before I heard of Binding of Isaac, even tangentially. I had known of Don't Starve before then. Maybe
somebody in chat can help us out here. Like, what's the timetable that, like, as far as I'm concerned, my memory of both those games are in relation to Dizzy's stream and Moo's stream. And as far as I can tell, they both came out around the same time. So I could be wrong, but that's it. One of the things we've been covering a lot, we've talked about a lot here, is this current trend of re-imaging or remaking or HDing games. A new one is going to be, well, it's not so much that it's a re-image, but it's an outgrowth of the original Ultimate Series games.
Ultimate.
What's that?
Is it Ultimate? I was mocking the name.
Oh. Apparently, it's. Let me just see here. It's based around the Ultima Underworld, the Stygian Abyss that was released in 1992 by Origin. It was apparently one of the first fantasy games that allowed moving through a 3D environment when this was something new. apparently the designers of that game are trying to crowdfund a new game based on that idea called Underworld Ascendant. Now, I'll throw the link in chat. You guys can grab a look at it and see what you think.
One thing I'm reading on there that grabs my attention comes back to one of the last times I was on. We talked about games that were canceled.
Yes.
And that the one that was basically prehistoric times, yes, where you could drive things into extinction.
BC.
Yeah. Apparently they're looking at trying to implement some features like that. So that right there grabs my attention. Other than the fact that it's not an Ultima game.
But it is.
But it is.
Yes. Yes. Now, Ultima is probably one of the original games that everybody fell in love with in that era because it was unique, it was fun, it was it was just an incredible series of games. The fact that they're having to go this way around the whole legalities of it, which really kind of sucks, just so that they can maybe bring that Ultima world back into popularity. Wouldn't it be nice if we didn't have to play those kind of games? Like if you wanted to bring an older game back to life again, that you didn't have to jump through hoops to do it. It was just, let's do it. Everybody wants it. Let's make it. Let's have some fun. But no, we got to jump through legal fucking hoops. We got to go through Kickstarters and all this shit.
Well, we don't have to go through Kickstarters. People just do that because it's like a hip thing to do when you want to reboot your game. It's what's in right now.
What, you don't like Kickstarter?
I'm fine with Kickstarters. They work sometimes, every so often. But like, a lot of the stuff that gets kickstarted is nostalgia trips, usually. And like, you could have just played the game that you already had.
Okay, we're gonna end off with we kind of like doing these list discussions. The top 10 or the bottom, the 10 worst or the 10 best. This one, I think it comes out of Polygon. I'm not sure. But I'll throw the link in chat for you guys. It's the top 10 worst plagues in gaming history. Now I'm trying to figure out what they mean by the 10 worst. Oh, okay, the 10 deadliest plagues. They make it a little clearer in the actual text. Now, at number 10 spot for one of the deadliest plagues is the Plague of the Undead in Warcraft 3, World of Warcraft. The story being, in an effort to clear the path for the Burning Legion to invade, the Lich King, acting under the instruction of one of the Burning Legion's demonic overlords, created a disease that would kill all who were afflicted by it, only to revive them in a new form that was neither living or dead, the Plague of the Undead.
Yep. I was actually playing during that.
Were you?
Yep. Did
you die?
Oh yeah, and then I started trying to help spread it.
Las Plagas from Resident Evil 4. Las Plagas is a parasite organism that infects a variety of hosts, including humans and animals, that induces a hive-like mentality into the minds of the afflicted subjects. Afflicted individuals then display extreme hostility towards any uninfected creatures. That's kind of a unique way of doing it. They say the idea being that, unlike most zombie-type viruses, the Las Plagas virus does not debilitate a human by affecting their motor skills and even allows them to manipulate complicated weapons. Sounds like just the perfect disease if you want to raise an army to take over the world. Don't you think? I think we should get Abra on that one. I think we should get him hunting up this thing so that we can take over the world. What do you think, Abra?
You talking about this? Which one are we talking about again? Las Plagas?
Yes.
I'm not a fan of the Resident Evil Plague idea.
Why?
I don't know. I just don't like that kind of. I just don't like the idea.
I need my workers healthy.
Yeah. You don't want, like, I don't see the point of making a plague so you can release it and just kill a whole shit ton of people.
Well, isn't that the idea? If you're taking over the world, you want to reduce the amount of people you can control?
No. Who is going to work in your factories? All the poor people who couldn't afford the medication are dead, and the rich people won't do it, or will do it poorly. Because they don't know what they're doing.
It almost sounds like our world today. Anyway,
exactly.
At the number 8 spot, the green flu from Left 4 Dead. Referred to simply as the infection by the characters in the game, the green flu caused most afflicted humans to turn into rabid zombie-like creatures. A few individuals affected by a mutated form of the disease turned into even weirder superhuman zombies. The few people that are immune to the symptoms were considered to be carriers. Survivors of the game Left 4 Dead and its sequel are suspected to be carriers who turned those they came in contact with mindless zombies. Thank you, Carl. I hope that's not the Carl from The Walking Dead.
The Left 4 Dead 1 survivors are confirmed carriers.
Are they?
Yes. Also, the disease is the carrier sect of the disease is passed down from the male side of the family, so people who are immune, their fathers would also be immune, and so on and so forth. That's like a big old plot point for Zoe when she finds out about that being a thing.
Oh, okay.
Because like if you read the comic that takes place between like 1 and 2 about how the survivors got to Louisiana or wherever?
No, I haven't.
Well, like they got picked up at the end of Left 4 Dead 1, and they got taken to a military base where they were told they were carriers and that the infection was passed down, like the people who were immune were carriers, and that the being immune was sent down from your dad to you. And then she got all sad because her dad got bit by her mom, and then she shot her dad before he turned because that's what all the movies said to do. And he was like, I'll do it because he watched the movie, and then he didn't know either. But she felt like a lot of guilt about that, and then shit went to hell, and trauma.
Kryda, do you think he spends too much time playing games? He knows fucking the back history like nobody's fucking business. I didn't even know there was a back history or story to Left 4 Dead. I just thought it was a zombie shoot 'em up and slash 'em up. But no.
Yeah, I know all about Left 4 Dead because there's like I read through a lot of like the Steam game backgrounds. Like I know that the people on the boat who pick you up in I think Death Toll were having marital problems, and they decided to dump you on an island and steal your guns and medication. They weren't ever going to save you.
Wow.
And died later. I think was
okay. Number 7.
With the way Abra is with video games, I'm the way with those.
Yeah. We all have our passions, man. We all have our passions, and I love it. That's one thing I love about the geek culture, whether it be gaming or anything to do with being a geek. I absolutely love it because people get so fucking passionate that it makes it all so much better. Anyway, At number 7, the Rat Plague from Dishonored. Destroying almost half the population of the city of Dunwall, the Rat Plague originated from the mysterious continent of Pandacia. Victims of the plague, which spread by rats, can apply the cure to themselves with Sokolov's health elixir, which was researched well after the plague had already left its mark on the city. However, once the subject exhibits the symptoms of bleeding from their eyes or nose, the disease becomes incurable. Yeah, so that was no. Now, do you have a backstory for this one, Abra?
I haven't played through all of Dishonored and gotten the story, but from what I pieced together with the bits and pieces that I have, the Empire went into Bendicia, however you pronounce it. It's personal preference how you pronounce it, and it was like one of those ancient Mayan curses that thou shalt not walk our land and shit. And so the explorers who went there brought it back, and then it got spread out. It got spread through rats, and then all the political discord that was going on, just they didn't care about it until it was like too big of a thing for them to stop. From what I understand. I might be wrong about that.
Okay, I doubt it, but we'll go with that. At number 6, the Blight from Dragon's Age. The Blight is a disease spread by the Darkspawn, evil creatures from the underworld. The disease corrupts living organisms, e.g. people, by corrupting their blood and eventually causing them to go insane. Sounds like a bad date on a Friday night. Number 5, the Genophage from Phage from Mass Effect, probably one of the better known diseases, or whatchamacallits. It was bioweapons. It was engineered by the Solarians to control the population of the warlike race of Krogan, designed to severely reduce population numbers by infecting the species with a genetic mutation that served to cause stillbirth in most Krogan pregnancies. Number 4.
I got a backstory for that.
You got a backstory for that?
Alright. Do you want me to give it to you?
Sure.
So, Citadel species, mucking about with Mass Effect relays, opened one, found the Rachni. Rachni said, "Raw, we were going to eat all your shit because we're Tyranids." And so they went to the Krogan and said, "Yo, you guys reproduce quickly, you're not that smart, but you can shoot guns well and you don't get hurt that easily. How about you help us? How about you fight our Rachni problems?" They're like, "Alright," and then they did that, and they were like, "Congratulations," but then they were like, "Oh hey, the Krogan aren't that culturally developed, so they're starting to just go invade every planet, and since they're pretty tough and good at shooting shit, they kind of are winning." So, and like Solarians was all, "Hey, maybe we should just, make it so they can't reproduce like rabbits." And so then they went a little bit overboard and made it so they can't reproduce pretty much at all. And Krogans hate the Turians and the Solarians because those are the two that did that, and they just fucking Krogan mad. Grr.
Alright,
that's a plot point.
We're going to jump to number 2 and then do number 1 because we're getting a little long here. Number 2, the forced evolutionary virus from Fallout. I know you're a Fallout fan. You probably got backstory for this one as well. So go right ahead.
All right, the forced evolutionary virus. If I'm remembering correctly, it has a bit of a different story between the 3D and the isometric games. I know in the isometric game that it was like originally, if I'm remembering correctly, it was a government project before the nuclear war, about creating super soldiers and shit, and then the nuclear war happened and it kind of changed, and it was what turned the Master into the Master, and he started dragging people and throwing them in the forced evolutionary virus to turn them into super mutants that he could then control. Then he tried to make an army and take over the California wasteland with an army of super mutants. The Lone Wanderer, or whoever the fuck you are in the first one, the Vault Dweller, that's who you are in the first one, said, "Hey, I kind of live here, let's not do that." And so he stopped them and blew them up.
Now, number 1, Karida, you can probably help out with this one. Corrupted Blood, World of Warcraft. The Corrupted Blood incident was one of the more unintentional issues that wasn't something planned in the game with the lore of the World of Warcraft. What basically happened was the players were fighting a boss named Hakar in the raid dungeon, whatever, when it was cast a debuff called Corrupt Blood. It would drain the player's hit points, and originally this spell was intended to last a few seconds and function within the raid itself. Do you know any of that?
I only vaguely remember it because if I remember correctly, it happened near the end of the time that I was playing. But I remember being so pissed off, and because you couldn't go anywhere without catching it and swiftly dying to it.
Because
And of course I went and helped spread it.
Yeah. Now it was actually a bug that was meant that pets and minions would also get affected by corrupted blood, and they would take that affliction with them out of the raid, and when they turned up in popular areas like Stormwind or Ironforge or Orgrimmar, it would spread to other players. The event affected gameplay on a massive scale, and a number of our people in chat remember that one very well, it would seem. But yeah, so those, are there any other big plagues or things that...
Can I say something really quick?
Yeah.
Thinking back on it, we're talking about plagues here, so the fourth evolutionary virus doesn't really have a place on this list, because it's not a plague. It's literally vats of chemicals and shit. It's controlled substance. You can't catch it by being in contact with someone who was thrown into the vat of forced evolutionary virus. It's not really a plague. It's bioengineering. It's a completely different thing. It's not contagious.
All right, so we're not
just saying it.
We're talking about 9 instead of 10.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
Hey, we like to be correct here. If we're getting wrong information, we got to make it right, don't we? We just gotta. Any from the games you guys have played that you think could be on this list of big plagues that affect games, or were part of the gameplay?
There was something. Okay, I don't know if people will count this, considering it's mostly beneficial. But in the Pokemon games, it's Pokerus, which can spread through your Pokemon and give them boosted stats.
Pokemon?
I shit you not. Pokemon has its own little plague.
Wait a minute, you played Pokemon?
Fuck yeah, dude. I grew up with Pokemon. My first Pokemon game was Pokemon Yellow version.
Oh,
I remember getting mad because I didn't know how to get out of the Professor Oak's lab because I didn't know you had to pick a Pokemon at the beginning.
On that note that I did not know about Abra, that he was a Pokemon player, we will we'll call today's show to a close.
Only like one video gamer who hasn't played Pokemon.
Me?
Okay, well you don't count. You were a grown man.
You're older than Dirt, Cranky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your point is?
You're Dirt's grandfather.
Just a couple notes, folks. We do have a couple another few shows that are going to be coming online very shortly. One of them is called The Interviews, where myself and maybe one other person will sit down with a streamer or a streaming couple, hopefully game devs, and have a conversation and ask some questions about why they do what they do, what their aspirations are, and so on and so forth. And to kind of help me out, if you follow that link that showed up there, you can send me your questions you would like asked of streamers, and I'll make all the lists up, and they will become part of my list of questions that I'll ask streamers when I'm sitting having a conversation with them. And your keyboard is going to kill my ears.
Sorry.
It's okay. I think it's because your mic is on the table. It's picking it up even better. Great mic, by the way. I love the Yeti. The other one we're working on, which we were probably going to debut on our PAX, is Center Stage, where myself and another host will provide live commentary on a gaming event like PAX, any announcements that are made during PAX. We may actually start that a little sooner, as maybe this weekend try and run it around the same time as the big War Z Survivor contest is concerned. So keep your eyes out. I will be tweeting about them all, so follow me on Twitter. I'm the Cranky Canuck. That's where you can find anything to do with this. I want to thank Karida, lovely Karida, with her brand new machine. Oh, that doggy poo. Yes, you're so cute. Thank you, Karida, for today. Love having you. And Abra, we've got to do something about your Skype, man. We've got to do something about your Skype, because I don't know if I can take it.
I just realized we didn't even try turning my webcam on.
I know. We'll get it worked out. I want to thank you again, because you jumped in to cover for Haas, because she had an early meeting in the morning, so she couldn't do it. So thank you, everybody, for being with us. Oh, okay. One quick question, Oren. Quick. The countdown's on.
What?
Are you referring to the doggy?
No, the dog is not missing an
eye. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, you mean...
No, that robot was built with only one eye.
Oh, okay. All right. God, you guys have got me going just left, right, and center here. I didn't mean to be insensitive. Nicely done. All right, folks. Thank you for being with us. If you like what you've seen tonight, or you're new here, hit the old follow button. Oh, by the way, I do have to give a shout out to somebody last night. I will find the name for tomorrow, who donated $25. Thank you very much. It didn't pop up because I had the wrong setups for the donation alert. That's fixed now. So if you want to help support the stream, support our shows that we're going to be doing, there's the donation button as well. But until tomorrow, same time, 12 a.m., we will be here. But until then, remember, folks, game on.